Good morning, brethren. Welcome to another daily devotional. Today we're thinking about Paul's words in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 4 and 5. This is what he says: Because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions. It is by grace you have been saved. I know that all of you who are tuning into this daily devotion have been through the experience at one time or another of bereavement. And it's a shocking and a traumatic experience to see a loved one let out in a coffin and for them to be lifeless and dead. They are cold, they are stiff, they are unable to respond in any way to you. Sometimes in our sorrow we speak to the corpse as though it could hear us, but the reality is it can't hear, can't think, can't speak. The person is gone. And Paul uses this very vivid picture here of death to bring his readers to understand what they were like before they were saved. He says that God made them alive even when they were dead in transgressions. Paul doesn't say when you were very seriously ill in transgressions, as though there was some life there and there was something that they could do for themselves, that they could in themselves respond in some way. He says you were dead. Now that's a very strange picture, because it means that in that spiritual state of deadness, we could not, under any influence of ourselves, respond to the gospel. It took something miraculous to happen in order for us to be able to truly hear the message and truly respond to it. And that's why Paul, speaking about this wonderful transformation that takes place, says that God made us alive with Christ when we were dead in sin. So God came to us in our state of death, and he made us alive. He breathed new spiritual life into us, and in doing that, we were able to hear the gospel as we should have heard it. We were able to see Jesus Christ as he truly is, and we were able to respond in faith by trusting him as Saviour. And Paul is pointing out here that this great work of salvation that all of us, I hope, who are listening to this daily devotional have experienced, this great work is something that God has done for us. We of ourselves could not have done anything to save ourselves. But because of his great love for us, and you can put your name in there, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive even when we were dead in transgressions. And that's why Paul goes on and says, it is by grace you have been saved. By grace. What is grace? Grace is God's totally undeserved favour shown to us. We who deserved nothing other than condemnation, God in his grace grants us salvation. What a wonderful, wonderful truth. What a merciful and gracious God. And isn't it wonderful that Paul begins this part of his teaching by saying, because of his great love for us. We are Christians today because God loved us, because God made us alive, because by grace we have been saved. Let us praise and thank our God from the bottom of our hearts for so great salvation. because we're going to be doing that for all eternity. May God encourage you and bless you today as you go about your responsibilities. Have a good day, folks.